She checks his profile again. It's 2 a.m. Her friends told her to move on. Her logic agrees, but her body doesn't. Every notification, every silence, feels like either oxygen or poison. This isn't love anymore, it's obsession. But here's the scary truth. Most women don't even realize when that shift happens. What starts as a beautiful connection turns into a crippling dependency. What begins as passion slowly morphs into a need for control. Today, we're going to break down exactly how women cross that invisible line. From healthy love to silent obsession, and why it happens so quietly, even to the smartest and most self-aware among us. This isn't about judgment. It's about understanding the subtle psychological traps that can ensnare anyone. At first, everything feels amazing. She feels in control. She's texting him, laughing at his jokes, imagining their future, planning dates. It feels so light, so romantic, so incredibly exciting. Her brain is flooded with feel-good chemicals. Her dopamine levels are soaring. Her attachment hormones, oxytocin and vasopressin, start to forge a powerful link, connecting his very presence with a feeling of deep pleasure and safety. But here is a crucial piece of the puzzle. The brain doesn't always know the difference between love and addiction. It only recognizes patterns of reward and withdrawal. So every good morning text becomes a hit, a rush of validation that feels fantastic. And every ignored message, every hour of silence, feels like withdrawal. It's a sudden, sharp drop that leaves her feeling anxious and empty. And without even noticing, she begins to crave his emotional validation the way an addict craves their next fix. That's the first crack in the foundation. It's the moment when genuine affection starts to become a chemical dependency. It's a subtle but dangerous shift from wanting him to needing him to feel okay. Think about it this way. Healthy love lives in reality, with all its beautiful imperfections. Obsession, on the other hand, lives in a fantasy. When a woman starts falling for the idea of a man more than the actual man standing in front of her, that's when the real shift begins. She's no longer seeing him for who he is. She's seeing the polished, idealized version her mind has carefully created. She starts making excuses for him. She tells herself, he's just really busy at work, or he'll change once he sees how much I care, or this is just a rough phase we have to get through. But every single excuse she makes deepens the trap. The mind starts to actively edit out the red flags, the inconsistencies, the dismissiveness, the lack of effort all to protect the fantasy she's built. Why? Because losing that beautiful illusion feels far more painful than the thought of losing the actual man. The dream is often more alluring than the reality. So she stays, she waits, she invests even more of her time, her energy, her heart, not because it's a healthy, reciprocal relationship, but because she's already in too deep to pull out. The investment feels too big to walk away from. The neuroscience behind this is fascinating and a little terrifying. Studies show that the brain circuits that light up for romantic love are the exact same ones that light up for addiction. Each emotional high, a thoughtful compliment, a lingering kiss, a moment of genuine affection releases a surge of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. You feel euphoric, on top of the world. But each emotional low rejection, silence, a cold shoulder causes that dopamine to crash, leaving you feeling desperate and craving another hit. And here's the most insidious part of the trap. The more unpredictable he is, the stronger the chemical bond becomes. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. It's the same trick that makes slot machines in casinos and notifications on social media so addictive. You never know when the next reward is coming. So you stay hooked, constantly waiting, hoping, refreshing your phone, just for that next hit of validation. That's not romance. That's a powerful neurological trap disguised as chemistry or passion. As the obsession grows, something else happens. Her identity begins to shrink. Her world, once filled with her own hobbies, friends, and goals, starts to revolve entirely around him. His moods dictate her day. His replies determine her self-worth. His validation becomes the sun she orbits. She starts saying things to her friends, or even just to herself, like, I just want him to see my worth, or, if he leaves me, I'll never find someone like him again. But listen closely to those words. Those are not expressions of love. Those are the signs of emotional captivity. She's no longer loving him for who he is. She's chasing a reflection of herself through him. The addiction isn't really to the man himself. It's an addiction to the feeling she had when he wanted her, when he chose her, when he made her feel seen. And that powerful memory is what keeps her chained to a situation that is draining her spirit. She's trying to get back to that initial high, no matter the cost. For most women, the wake-up call only comes after hitting a breaking point. It's that moment when the silence from him no longer hurts. It just feels empty. It's when the carefully constructed fantasy finally shatters under its own weight, and she can no longer ignore the reality of the situation. That's the moment of clarity. She finally sees it all for what it was. She wasn't in love with him. She was in love with the idea of being chosen. She was addicted to the chase, to the gut-wrenching uncertainty, to the tiny, unpredictable rewards that made her feel alive in a world that can sometimes feel numb. And in that realization, as painful as it is, lies immense power. Because awareness is the first step. Awareness breaks the loop. You can't heal what you continue to romanticize. You can't move on from a situation you keep telling yourself is love. So let's make it crystal clear. Love builds you up. Obsession drains you. Love expands your identity, making you more of who you are. Obsession erases it, making you a fraction of yourself. Love says, I want the best for you, even if it's not with me. Obsession says, I need you to stay, because I can't be okay without you. And every woman who has ever crossed that line knows this deep down. The scariest addictions are the ones that look and feel like passion. So the next time your heart races at the sight of a man's name on your screen, just pause and ask yourself one simple question. Is this feeling love, or is this the start of another craving? Because once you can truly see the difference, you'll never confuse them again. You'll choose the love that sets you free, not the obsession that keeps you in a cage. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on building healthy, empowered relationships. We'd love to have you as part of our community.